What is up, guys? Welcome to a brand new video. So today I actually went to look at the PB at some of the new changes because they're kind of ridiculous, at least to me. Throw the video a like if you do, let me know what you think about the changes, but let's get into the first one, which is actually like a kind of new version of SHYVANA. So she has a brand new passive, which is absolutely crazy. You gain stuff based on if your team has taken dragons. If you get infernal dragons, it would be 5 to 10% of your damage is now converted into true damage. Mountain, you would take 10 to 20% less damage from towers and monsters. Cloud will be 5 to 15% slow resist, and Ocean would be 5 to 15% free cooldown reduction. Now all of these stats are free, literally just based on what dragons and how many you take. That is probably one of the most ridiculous random changes I've seen for a long time, if I'm honest, especially by the way because she can easily solo dragon after her other changes. Well, honestly, she could do it anyway, but just kind of easier now, I think, and most of these are like focused on her dragon form being really good right now. So your W doesn't leave a trail behind anymore, but the area around her is bigger instead, so in theory it's just a little bit more useful. Your E effect has been changed, kind of reworked like her passive. It stops if it hits a champion now and it explodes. It's going to deal up to 200% bonus damage and scorch the earth under the target. Basically on that ground that it's kind of scorched or whatever, it deals 60 to 120 damage per second for 4 seconds to everybody in it. And by the way, that would actually mean late game, if you get hit by this and you stand on it like by accident, you don't realize or whatever, you take about 700 damage just from an E, and some of that could be true damage as well. That doesn't seem normal. That isn't even it either. So a WRE is better, her passive is better, but her ultimate now gives 150 to 350 extra free health. The damage is down slightly by 25 to 75. It's still 350 rank 3 though, so it's still a lot of damage. And the massive thing is you cannot be interrupted. You can't just kick her away, you can't crowd control while she's flying towards you. It works like a Malzahar ult, she just cannot be stopped. I know SHYVANA wasn't like the best pick recently, but come on, like they haven't taken that much away, but they've added a ton onto her kit. I'm still unsure by the way if the old passive is staying, but remember it used to give up to 20 bonus armor, magic resist, and 14 dragon form, so it's not huge, but it was nice. Just to make this obvious, by the way, what you're actually getting with this on the PB now is true damage, less damage from towers, slow resist, cooldown reduction, a more useful W, more damage on her E, and AoE damage. Her ultimate gives you more health, and she cannot be interrupted either. That's kind of a lot of different things, a lot of stats that they're giving to her in one patch. I'm not really sure what to make of this. What do you guys think? Like personally, for me, this will force her back, I think, to being a good jungler, but also top lane as well. She just has like so many stats and base damage now, it's going to be hard to duel her top lane. I don't think you're really going to be able to beat her 1v1. So the second biggest change is probably to Anivia, and we saw a variation of these before, but this is much simpler. The first thing is to her E. It only does double damage now if they were recently stunned by Anivia or damaged by a fully formed ultimate, and also the cooldown is down to 4 seconds from 5. Your ultimate actually ramps up to full size in half the time now, so it only takes 1.5 seconds to be full size. The base damage is halved, but a fully formed one now does 300% base and slows by 30 to 60%. Overall, damage-wise, that's about the same, but basically your E is now much better in team fights than it is in the lane phase. It only does double damage after 1.5 seconds of your ultimate or a stun by the Q, so you can't really do like this burst trade and just run away. If you do set it up properly though with her ultimate, then she still could be nuts. She's still going to do a ton of damage. You just have to prepare a little bit more. You have to like take your time a bit. SHYVANA, I think I would class as like a mini rework, maybe even Anivia, because they're changing how her spells actually work, but I feel like this is just going to make SHYVANA OP and Anivia will be worse slightly, but still good, but used by good players. You just have to use it differently. Now Garen is a change though, is actually pretty funny. This one to me, I was looking at it, I'm just like, I'm not sure what Riot are thinking at all. The champions hit by his E would have their armor reduced by 3 to 7% for 4 seconds. That doesn't sound too bad, right? Except it stacks up to 5 times. I don't really see why you would do this to Garen, honestly. Like, he's going to be the ultimate tank killer now, especially because you would normally max this first. Try stacking armor against this guy and it's going to be absolutely pointless. Like, you're just wasting your gold. It is actually like a free black lever passive, because at rank 5, that would be 7% per stack. That would be 35% armor reduction for free, just added onto his kit. What if he gets both though? It would actually be 54.5%-ish reduction in armor to everybody around him hit by his E if he hits them 5 times. That seems super balanced, right? The thing is, what about your ultimate? They're doing more damage now. Your Q, your auto attacks, and your second round of E are all going to be doing more damage because you reduce their armor by so much. Like, it seems like such a big buff. This seems to come out of nowhere, if I'm honest. He might not even need a black lever, but I'd probably go for it with how much you can reduce now, especially against a tank matchup. We'll have to see if this actually happens, but like, genuinely, I don't really know what to say. Like, I want to explain the change, but I just have no idea why Riot would want to do this. Okay, so Malzahar is also getting some changes as well to his W. So after they wrecked him with nerfs before, I think it's time for some buffs apparently. So it's kind of actually a mini rework on this as well. It's now 40 mana from 80, so halved, and it works on a recharge system like Caitlyn traps now. It's going to be 2 stacks and the same cooldown for a recharge as now, so it's like 20 to 16 seconds. The way it works is slightly different. So if a Voidling has more than 9 seconds left, its first attack spawns a new one with the same duration, and they have 3 HP now, kind of like wards, so you have to hit a voidling 3 times to kill it. They'll now deal like base plus a percentage of your AD. It looks like more overall at a guess for AP Malz, because before it was just a percentage of your total AD. You don't really have that much AD on an AP champion. The AP ratio is increased to 20% from 10%, but they do despawn faster when away from Malzahar. They also deal 300% damage to lane minions when you have your E on them, which is pretty crazy. And if a target is affected by your R or your E, they gain a 100% increased attack speed. This seems kind of ridiculous to me, or at least a few parts of it, right? The recharges are kind of cool. You can spawn them now as well like that. The 300% damage to minions with Eon, which is nice, and 100% increased attack speed to nuke down the R target. Those things I think are actually pretty cool. Like, they might give a bit more damage to Malzahar. He's not in the best spot at the moment. There are things you need to get used to again, like how they spawn though. Like, they won't if they've been out for a longer time, etc. But overall, it seems like a good thing. The last champion change on the PB for now at least is to Kaz excels a bug fix, and basically when you evolve his W, it should be revealing enemy champions. I know this is a bug fix. I know that's how it's supposed to work after the rework and stuff, but like, does he really need more stuff right now? Because he's already really strong. Lastly, just a few items to mention. Blade the Ruined King, the damage is up to 8% of their health now instead of 6%, which is a nice kind of increase, I guess. But like, honestly, it's probably not going to be enough. It might be cool though, because I genuinely think that we're actually moving towards a tank meta, so Blade the Ruined King will be a bit more useful. Also, Rage Bait, Ginzu's Rage Bait, they have a 25% attack speed based on there now, just like for free on there. Finally, Ceres Gauge is 100 gold cheaper, so I guess that's kind of nice, but it's not really going to make too much difference. Those are going to be the PBE changes up there right now. Honestly, I wasn't even going to make one of these because normally they add more changes as it goes along, but this SHYVANA change was just so nuts. I really wanted to talk about it. I hope you guys enjoyed it though. Thank you for watching, and for now, I'll leave you with the robots.